That night, when my husband left for his business trip, a storm had broken out. The air was cold and ominous, and the silence of the night was shattered by the stepchild. As Ethan slowly slipped under the covers beside me, that night changed our lives forever. Under the most relentless downpours, with the mournful howls of the wind echoing around a small, sleeping Midwestern town, Samantha Clark sat in the modest living room of our home, staring out the window while my spirit was as turbulent as that stormy sky. At 39, my life had become nothing more than a collection of unspoken regrets and half-formed dreams. I was married to Richard, a man whose charm and kindly smile hid a restless ambition, and we also shared our home with Ethan, Richard's 20-year-old son from a previous marriage. Our relationship was a fragile mosaic woven with duty, silence, and unspoken confessions. Over time, an ever-increasing tension had taken hold. That night, Richard had abruptly left for a meeting in Chicago. It wasn't the first time he had disappeared in the middle of the night. He left me alone with my red wine, surrounded by the rhythmic patter of raindrops. With his absence came an unmistakable emptiness and chill in the house, as if the walls were being rebuilt from solitude. Countless evenings I had waited for his return, wondering if, slowly, we were both losing our way. As the storm outside gathered its full force, I was lost in my own thoughts when an unexpected click at the door made my heart race. Around midnight, with the sound of tentative footsteps approaching, I opened the door expecting a traveler in need. But standing there was Ethan, who had always been reserved and distant. Now his face bore an unusual urgency, as if an unspoken crisis was pressing within him. His soaked jacket clung to his body, shimmering with trembling droplets under the faint porch light. "Mom, I didn't think you'd be awake," Ethan said in a low, uncertain tone. The word "mom" always reminded us of that distance imposed by our non-biological bond. Yet, at that moment, I felt the weight of that unusual connection more than ever. I invited him inside, my mind filled with 1,000 questions that I dared not voice. As the storm's intensity continued, we found ourselves alone in the silence of the house. Beneath the dim light of the living room, I noticed Ethan's hesitant steps, as though he were fleeing from ghosts of the past. "There's something I need to tell you," he finally said, his eyes drifting toward the dark corners of the room. His voice trembled as he confessed the heavy burden he had carried since childhood, a burden born from the dark corners of our family, from lies that had tormented him for years. His words merged with the rumble of thunder, intensifying the atmosphere and striking me deeply. Ethan's confession quickly took an unexpected turn. He described the collapse of loneliness within, the search for something genuine and sincere, and the pain that lay hidden beneath masked appearances. I feel drawn to you, Mom," he admitted with a staggering frankness, his words hanging in the air like a forbidden incantation, both repulsive and mesmerizing. That confession shocked me to my core. I found myself torn between the role of the protective mother I had always tried to be and the fragile honesty that now enveloped me. Beyond the shock, an inexplicable blend of tenderness, guilt, and fear welled up inside. That stormy night, nothing felt the same again. The boundaries between love, duty, and desire blurred as time seemed to slow down and emotions poured out languidly. When the clock passed midnight, in the midst of our silent confessions, the trembling touch of Ethan's hand meeting mine created an electric surge of intensity unlike anything we had ever experienced. In that suspended moment, time itself seemed frozen, leaving us both weighed down by our emotions. I soon retreated to our master bedroom, my heart pounding unevenly and my mind swirling with an inescapable sense of guilt. Ethan's confession carried the mark of a forbidden attraction that both repulsed and pained my soul. With my eyes closed, I replayed his words over and over. Had our shared loneliness conjured an illusion, or was it a crack in the meticulously built surface of our lives that demanded to be exposed? Outside, the storm raged on, its sound echoing my inner turmoil. The first rays of dawn did little to bring hope. As weak light slowly seeped into the room laden with the memories of the storm, I sipped my coffee at the cold stone kitchen table when the phone rang. It was a brief message from Richard, "Meeting cancelled. I'll be home tonight." The message struck me like a blow, its timing cruel, its tone icy. I was trapped between two devastating truths, the life I had built with Richard and the forbidden confession Ethan had just made. When Richard returned home, his presence became both the comfort of old routines and the source of new pain. I watched him from afar, he, who had always been the pillar of our financial security and emotional order, now revealed beneath the veneer of his trusted mask the cracks that had been brought to light by that stormy night. Over the next few days, dubious phone calls, hidden bank transfers, and mysterious documents emerging from secret drawers painted a grim picture of deceit and betrayal. Richard's dazzling ventures were founded on lies, funded by money siphoned from our joint savings. These revelations left me at the crossroads of betrayal and freedom. Lost amidst the turmoil stirred by Ethan's forbidden confession, I found myself drifting in a complex whirl of emotions. In the silent hours of the night, when the world slept, Ethan would sit with me on the back porch, quietly sharing our deepest fears, regrets, and the dark secrets that wrapped our hearts. His words, a blend of rebellion and despair, ignited a dangerous spark within me. Every hushed confession deepened the marks of both my maternal duty and the allure of a forbidden love. Ethan's revelations weren't confined to personal guilt. He had uncovered undeniable evidence of Richard's long-running fraudulent activities, secret account transfers and embezzlement that spanned years. In his trembling hands lay a stack of documents that spoke of guilt. "Mom, you have to know the truth," he pleaded, his eyes brimming with tears, a look on his face that I couldn't decipher, whether it was relief or a final cry for liberation. I couldn't tell. That evening, with the fabric of lies laid out on the table before us, Richard's crumbling empire began to emerge in full view. Amid this chaos, a forbidden closeness had sprouted between Ethan and me. We had sought refuge in each other's loneliness, driven by a mutual yearning for a love untainted by pretense. Uncertainty deepened with every secret encounter. Though I felt a profound sense of responsibility as a mother, each moment of our exchanged confessions unveiled the shared pain and isolation of our souls. As the barriers between us slowly eroded, the magnetism of what was forbidden, both its allure and its horror, gnawed at our very beings. This growing intimacy, defying the limits set by society, cast long shadows over us. One morning, as the cold light of dawn witnessed our silence, Ethan approached me with determined, measured words. "We can't live amid the ruins of these lies, Mom." His voice carried the bitter weight of years and a resolute hope for freedom, a silent cry for a fresh start to replace broken trust. In that moment, I felt the immense gravity of the step we were about to take, a step toward a new beginning. As Richard's empire of deception was dismantled by the unveiling of the truth, the media and authorities began to intrude upon our once private life. Together, Ethan and I quietly left the home that had long been shrouded in betrayal and forbidden intimacy. Without any grand farewell or pomp, we set sail toward an uncertain future, leaving behind the remnants of deception and the scars wrought by taboo bonds. Our new home was in a quiet coastal town in Maine, where the rhythm of the crashing waves whispered promises of renewal and anonymity. There, in a small house overlooking the sea, as we struggled to escape the painful shadows of the past, shadows created by Richard's financial fraud, the guilt spawned by our forbidden closeness, and the crushing pressure of societal judgment, we began to feel a strange liberation amidst the pain. Every new day was a battle against the tide of memories and regrets, yet with every sunrise came a glimmer of hope for a new beginning. In that seaside town, in the quiet of our modest home, I began transforming our story into an account of betrayal, forbidden feelings, and the power of secrets, a fragile but honest reckoning. Every word I put on paper was not only an act of catharsis but also an effort to understand the darkest desires and the desperate loneliness within us. Meanwhile, Ethan captured his anguish and inner storm through his camera, his photographs starkly contrasting the loneliness and the fragile spark of hope. Some would say that our union defied every conventional rule, that it was more scandal than love. Yet, defying life's deceptions, the lies, and the hypocrisy, sometimes even the most unexpected, most forbidden, bonds can be real enough to pull us back from the edge. And as a part of this painful, complex story, I have become determined to redefine my freedom with every secret that has etched itself deep into my heart.